So when he feels like he might be getting heavy or he might be pulling down, you're trying to slow the front legs, slow the outside shoulder, and allow the hind legs to keep up so the front end isn't running away, so he can carry more weight in the back legs. Then when you're doing that, you're trying not to force him there or hold him there because he's too big and too strong. You can't hold him. Yeah, you'll be exhausted if you physically try. You're putting the idea in his head of trying to place him, and then you're letting the whole equation soften, and then you do it again. So that all starts from you having really good posture, sitting in the middle of the horse, really straight through your spine, nice and tall and upright, which you're doing already. Like, I didn't have to actually tell you that because it's already there today. But if it's not there, you have to put that into place first. So body has to be tall, weight down into the stirrup. Elbows are bent, both hands at the same height, wrists are straight, thumbs are on top. And then you're trying to slow him down so he's not pulling, he's not dragging. If he feels like you have some strides, do you get that feeling where sometimes he feels like he just pulls you forward and down? Yeah. Every time you get a feeling like he pulls you forward and down, the first thing you have to think is about staying tall, tighten your back, start your half halt through your back from your shoulder blades. And then you're thinking about just slowing down the outside front shoulder, like you're asking him to pause. And then you get the response, you get a feeling of pause from him. It should take the weight out of his shoulder or lift his wither slightly. And then you relax and then you start over. Looks really nice. So then when you're riding your circles or shapes, or you're trying to think about him being straight, you're trying to maintain a connection through your outside leg and rein. So he's on the outside aids, and then every time you flex him to the inside, you flex and then relax the inside rein so he can step through on his inside hind. And the more you flex him and then follow with bend, the rounder he should go. Good. Now, he's been working here quite consistently. Like, he looks like he's been in a really soft, even frame, not much change. So let's play with changing it. So what I want you to do is think about not speeding up, especially there as you go down the hill. Feel how you have to correct him. Yeah. And that's not unique to him. Every horse that hits that bit of the arena always speeds up. So you can preempt that. You can correct him. And then what I want you to do, find a circle, maybe plan it in advance. I would go around your vertical in the middle. So if you go down towards your cow-colored pole, but stay to the inside, then circle left around the two blue and white poles on the ground and around the vertical here in the middle, but plan that line. You could probably ride a nice big 20-meter circle. So if you circle there and stay inside the orange block, yeah, that's the idea. Although your circle didn't have much circle shape to it. Then what I want you to do is think about riding a circle there, put him on the line that you want, and then I want you to change the contact without changing the rhythm. So when you feel like he's responded, he's slowed down his front legs, so he's staying into a connection, you're going to intentionally open your fingers, let your reins out 10 centimeters, maybe even 15. Yeah, feel how he's following your hand there? Yeah. That's what we want. And then you keep him in enough outside rein connection so that you can still ride the shape that you want. You still move him off the outside aids or contain him in the outside aids. And then if he goes to hollow or straighten or he gets a bit wooden in his body, think about adding in more flexion, more bend. So just keep the outside rein. You can widen it if you have to, if you're losing your line, so that he feels a consistent connection to the outside rein. And then you're going to flex him, bend him to the left, and then soften. And then the whole time he doesn't speed up. Then do that again, see if you can let the reins out more. So the more you let the reins out, the more we want him to open his gullet and put his muzzle on the sand. So you can ride him as low as you want. Yeah, and you can ride him bigger, and you can ride this through changes of direction, but I wanted you to start on the circle so he didn't start changing rhythm and getting fast every time you went down the hill. Good. And then you're going to start to gather the reins and put him back into a working frame. So you'll see on the video, he doesn't look as low into the connection there as it probably feels. Like you probably feel like he's quite low. He does lengthen his neck and stretch out, which is good, but he can actually go lower and rounder into that connection. Yeah. And the more you feel like you can work on it, the more you'll get it. So when you go to pick him up here, remember you're trying to think about not letting him rest his head on your hand in a way that pulls or leans. Really good how you just tightened your back. So every time you tighten your back, you can also be thinking about using a little bit of leg. Ride his hind legs forward, but then not fast. So as soon as you get a response and he puts a surge of energy into his body and the hind legs go forward, then you're going to block the front end from speeding up and then soften. Then you flex and bend him more to the left, and that should make him rounder. If the flex and bend to the left doesn't make him rounder, it tells you you're not quite on the right track, because that's the test. That should make him rounder. Good. Now just for fun, see if you can think here. This all looks pleasant enough, but let's just go to a point where you're not as comfortable. I want you to think about keeping this posture, elbows in, really carry your hands, feel like you're sitting over the back of him, and you're just going to ride him from your back and from your leg more. Push his hind legs up towards his chest even more. Keep the elbows bent, don't give it away. And see if you can just think, I'm going to ride him more forward and more up so you can gather him into more rein. The pole's going to come up, but the neck's going to stay long. It's just going to arch more as he lifts up more through the chest, through the shoulder, through the wither. Keep the elbows bent. Good. Ride him to a point where you're like, holy crap, I'm super uncomfortable. I couldn't possibly do this. Is that it there?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, good. And then let him out again. Yeah, just 5 centimeters. Good. And there he goes. He has a little stretch. Good. Change the rein somewhere. Don't be in a rush. Plan it. Think about keeping the same rhythm through the change of rein. Even as you change your rein, give yourself 8 to 10 strides through the change of rein where you think, I've got to push him off my new inside leg into my new outside rein. He's got to notice the new outside rein more than the inside rein. Slow down, and then you can ride forward again. Really good. But then he doesn't change the rhythm. He stays the same the whole time. Good. Then watch that you don't get stuck on the track. You can ride a circle or you can ride some shapes. Slow down going down the hill. The other reason you want to always think about slowing down the hill is because as he runs away, as he loses his balance down the hill, he's going to speed up, but he's going to have more weight on his shoulders. What we're trying to do is take the weight out of the front legs, out of the shoulders, and get him to sit more behind so that more of his weight is carried over his back through his hindquarters, and the wither comes up and the front legs get lighter in the way that they hit the ground. If you can make the horse hit the ground lighter with his front legs, he will stay sounder for a lot longer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So rhythm is good, nice and calm. See if you can just check in with your wrists, especially your left one. Elbow stays bent, wrist stays straight. Good. There, if he's getting a little bit heavy, think about what you're going to do. You're going to ride transitions within the trot, not so much the rhythm. The rhythm's good, but you're still riding transitions where you're going to change the way he's carrying you. So you're going to let him out. So keep your outside rein when to start with. Give him a big flexion aid to the right. See if you get a nice soft response where you can loosen that inside rein contact. Good. And now let both reins out and see if he follows your hand down. Yeah, he does. Feel that?
Yeah.
Good. There, watch that you're not just pulling back on the inside rein and trapping him. Think you're trying to connect him to the outside rein. Flexion allow to the inside. Good. Keep him into an outside rein contact. So there, then he maintains contact. It doesn't matter what frame he's in. You get to decide. So you can let him out. You can put his nose on the sand. The reins get really long, but he's still connected. Yeah, the connection might feel different. His frame feels different, but it's not that you abandon him and the reins just go flapping in the breeze and he has no guidance. He's still working. Super. Yeah, and he's giving you a nice reward here because his breathing is telling you how soft and happy and relaxed he is. Okay, from here, you're then going to push your own boundary a little bit to where you're uncomfortable. Think about starting with your position. So even as you gather the reins there, you can't for a second end up on his forehand following him down. So you've got to tighten your back, bend your elbows. You can even use your spur a little bit to quicken his hind legs. Ride the hind legs forward towards the chest. Hind legs towards the bridle, not the bridle back towards your body. Super, really nice. And you say to him, I'm going to quicken the hind legs, stay up. Good, keep your elbows bent. There he looks pretty. Let's push your comfort zone. Gather your reins another 10 centimeters. Don't lose your body position. Tighten your back, stay up really tall, slow him down the hill. Good, good. Is that the shortest you could possibly ever imagine going?
Yes.
Yeah, good. And now let him back out again. And you're gonna see on the video, when you shorten your reins there for the couple strides where you go, this isn't possible, he looks amazing. He looks nice the rest of the time, Aphra. Like on the whole, he's looking fantastic. I want you to be able to see, hopefully on a bigger screen than just watching it off a phone, put it on your laptop or something. Those couple strides where you just go past your comfort zone, he's then starting to look like he's in a novice frame rather than a prelim frame. So from here, let's just give him a rest. See if you can just sit in the saddle, push your weight down in your stirrups, stop your seat and walk. Good, and then just throw the reins away so he has a reward.